Good morning. It's Wednesday, April 20th, 2022, and I'm back with another Twin Flame reading. I'm Brittany. I'm a psychic and healer. I also happen to be a Taurus Sun, Virgo Rising, and Aquarius Moon. So yeah, let's get into the deck for Divine Feminine. And the deck I'm going to be using for Divine Feminine is the Divine Feminine Oracle by Megan Watterson. And also, I do see the artwork is by Elizabeth Cheever Gesselman. So, yeah. What's going on with you as of today, Divine Feminine? What exactly is going on? So, remember, even though I use, I use she for Divine Feminine, he for Divine Masculine. So, if you have another way of doing it, then just replace the pronoun you use and replace the one I use. So, yeah. Divine Feminine. First card out for Divine Feminine would be Marguerite Porret, the Mystic of Divine Love. So I feel like right now Divine Feminine is in a loving sort of energy. She has this newfound appreciation, this inexplicable gratitude, and she doesn't know where it's coming from. But either way, I feel like Divine Feminine is like saying, you know what, I don't care where it comes from. I feel like that this is a very good energy to be in, and I feel like Divine Feminine may be able to manifest a lot better. I feel like she's working through some manifesting blocks, and this is helping her actually get into the right state of mind. So I feel like Divine Feminine is struggling with a little bit of instability, but it's nothing too major. I feel like right now Divine Feminine just is she's not as confused. She does see the divine plan, but I do think she still has a few questions. And I feel like Divine Feminine is actually praying. She may even be asking her guides. I'm hearing Kuan Yin, Santa Muerte, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Michael, and Archangel Raphael. I feel like that maybe they're like, I feel like right now the guys are just saying for Divine Feminine is to focus on this energy, learn to always feel good. And Divine Feminine is like saying, oh, I love this feeling. But I think her ego is actually counteracting this and saying you don't deserve to be in this energy. So I feel like Divine Feminine is like, she's not going to listen to her inner critic anymore. She's like saying, I love me. I know what's best for me. And I know that whatever is best for me is blessed by the divine. And I will not settle for anything less. So I feel like Divine Feminine, I do see that maybe she could be a little bit, not confused, the word is a little bit unsure. She's unsure if she's really aligned to her, in alignment, but I feel like Divine Feminine, that doesn't matter because you're getting into alignment. You already are in alignment. You're becoming more and more aligned with where you're meant to be. And I also see Divine Feminine, I do feel like sometimes you can, second guess yourself. You could be in self-sabotaging beliefs right now. I feel like that you're wrestling with some self-limiting beliefs, and I do feel like you're actually on the verge of a breakthrough, Divine Feminine. And the next one is White Buffalo Calf Woman, the Prophetess of the Sacred Way. So I feel like that Divine Feminine is actually becoming more and more psychic. She is no longer resonating with the Matrix. I feel like Divine Feminine is just is in her own world, and it's a very good world because Divine Feminine has done so much healing, and she has a very healthy mindset. And I do see that Divine Feminine is like saying, I'm not going to take anything less than what I deserve. So I feel like Divine Feminine is also working on her self-worth at the moment. And Divine Feminine like saying, I feel like Divine Feminine is no longer relying so much on her physical five senses. She is now concentrating on her psychic senses because she knows that's where the truth lies. And I do feel like Divine Feminine might be actually getting the itch to add something more to her mission. If she's a psychic or a tarot reader, I feel like that maybe she's actually being shown that there are other unique paths to take down this road. And I feel like Divine Feminine is like saying, I'm just going to follow the divine. Yes. And I do see that Divine Feminine, that I feel like Divine Feminine is actually getting more and more wiser. She's seeing now that it's not exactly about being smart, it's about being wise, because wisdom is where you spread the word. You have to speak from experience in order to understand where you're coming from. So I do see that Divine Feminine is also healing some psychic wounds, could be past lives, persecution, but I feel like Divine Feminine is remaining very true to herself at this point. She's not, I do see crown chakra activations going on for Divine Feminine, so her connection to source is strengthening. So Divine Feminine, if you're still on this journey, you still are like saying, what psychic powers do you have? Well, I feel like you're going to find out. And the next card is Kwanya, the goddess of compassion. So be compassionate with yourself, Divine Feminine. Know that you don't have all the answers, and that's okay. Let go of anxiety, because that's anxiety feeds your sense of control. You have to disarm the weapon within you in order to go within Divine Feminine, and you're safe now. Nobody's going to harm you. And I do feel like, again, springtime has been a very transformative period for you, Divine Feminine. I feel like in this past month, you are growing exponentially, probably in ways you never thought possible. But I do see Divine Feminine is now like saying, I'm possible. It's not impossible. It means I'm possible. So Divine Feminine is also working on her optimism, her positivity, but she's no longer indulging in toxic positivity, because she knows if she feels bad, she has to work through it. She can talk about it. Whatever means Divine Feminine uses, it's, yeah. But I feel like Divine Feminine at the same time is just like, she could be on the, could be taking, not taking, I feel like she's actually kind of like disregarded like her appearance probably for a couple of days. Doesn't have to be. I feel like the maybe Divine Feminine just feels a little bit off. So I feel like some of you may need to take a cleansing bath of sorts, because I feel like there's a lot of energy. There's some grounding. I feel like, again, Divine Feminine, this is a time to look after your spiritual hygiene and possibly even your physical hygiene, but it doesn't have to be. I feel like the Divine Feminine is also getting in touch with her inner, more of her Divine Feminine essences. This is making her much more compassionate, wiser, and stronger. So Divine Feminine is like saying, I'm a goddess, and you are a goddess, Divine Feminine. The next card is Yesis Tisco, Lady of the Lotus Born. So what I see for Divine Feminine is that she's embracing both energies, Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. She feels the need to be the Divine Masculine now, and she's not actually doing it in order to get her twin, but I feel like Divine Feminine is actually in a part of her journey where she has to work on her masculine energy, because that's going to bring her far. And I do feel as though, yeah, Divine Feminine, I also see that solar plexus chakra activations are going on for you. And I feel like you're actually just pulling yourself out of your ego, and you're becoming much more experience. I wouldn't say experience. I would say the word is attuned to your intuition. So yeah, Divine Feminine, I feel like, again, you're doing quite well for yourself. And I also see root chakra activations going on for Divine Feminine. So I feel like she is actually becoming more practical. She is becoming much more pragmatic. So I do see now Divine Feminine has to balance that side of hers with her Divine Feminine side. So I feel like Divine Feminine's pretty much done a lot of healing in her inner masculine, and that's good. But her energies are still a little bit off, but that's something she can fix. It's not as bad as it used to be, and I think Divine Feminine is grateful for that. And I do feel like Divine Feminine might feel the need to actually go with the flow. I also feel as though maybe she feels the need to exercise, and this exercise I feel like is going to help her settle in her body a lot more. It will ground her. And I do see that Divine Feminine might have been a little bit melancholy for the past few days, and I feel like this is because Divine Feminine is getting rid of what no longer serves her. She's on the edge. She's on the verge of purging again. And the next card for Divine Feminine will be Hestia, the goddess of sanctuary. So I feel like Divine Feminine is actually, I feel that right now at the moment she's going within. She's asking herself a lot of hard questions. She's trying to figure out exactly what to do. And I feel like Divine Feminine is also healing that energy, the energy where she needs to know everything. I feel like Divine Feminine is becoming more and more aware where her sense of control comes from. She can't control other things, but she can certainly control herself. And I do see sacral chakra cleansings going on. And I feel like Divine Feminine is being called to release any and all unfounded fears. Any fears that supposedly dictate how the future is. And Divine Feminine is trying to be optimistic. She wants a better future. And she is hell-bent on manifesting that. Nothing you say will faze her, because Divine Feminine knows she deserves the best. And the best is very much in her highest good. And I do see that Divine Feminine, I also see that there's like, I feel like Divine Feminine is pretty much, she's more calmer. She is more clear-minded. I see that Divine Feminine is actually connecting the dots a lot more easier, and I feel like Divine Feminine is also pulling herself out of a bout of depression. I do see that Divine Feminine is also, she's just going through her chakra system is going through intense cleaning right now. So she may be a little bit tired. She doesn't have to be. I feel that maybe she could feel worn down, maybe a little bit like feeling off. And again, Divine Feminine, just look after you. And the second to last card is the Kennedy Enlightened Feminine. So Divine Feminine, you have the tools you need. You have everything you need in order to be successful. And I do feel like sometimes you give yourself the short end of the stick. Divine Feminine, see your self-worth. See that you can accomplish great things if you set your mind to it. Because you're a goddess. You can manifest whatever the hell you want. And nobody, especially someone who's toxic, can tell you what to think or what to do. You live by your own rules. You're not part of the matrix anymore, and that's a very good thing. It is very empowering for you to reach your sense of self. And I do feel like Divine Feminine is actually seeing that she must go into mission. She has to find her way. And I feel like, again, she's like saying, you know what, I'm not going to ask questions. I'm going to go within. The Divine is going to show me what I need to do. And I see that's why Divine Feminine is working so hard to realign with her intuition. Because even though she has good intuition, she's a little bit harder on herself and thinking, I can be more intuitive. Divine Feminine, even though that's admirable, remember the difference between tearing yourself down and just being compassionate with yourself. Make sure it doesn't fall into the first category. So I also see that Divine Feminine is very much she's staying away from toxic influences. I feel like Divine Feminine is, if she is an addict or she has some addictive personality traits, I see like Divine Feminine is actually working to that. It may seem like she's getting worse, but I feel like Divine Feminine is in a cycle where she's starting to see what needs to be fixed, her needs, her wants. She's seeing the difference between them. And I see that Divine Feminine just wants a more spiritual existence, but she wants something that is balanced with the real world too. And I think that's what Divine Feminine is trying to manifest here. And the last card is Fatima, the Mother Iman. So I do see that Divine Feminine is that, you're doing pretty great for most of the part. I just think it's just your insecurities that are just trying to sway you, but you cannot be swayed so long as you know your own soul. And this is pretty much the rediscovery of your own soul, Divine Feminine. You're seeing what rings true with you and what does not. So I also see that Divine Feminine is getting downloads. She's also getting messages. She's being called to share with either their collective or just probably their other means. But I do see that Divine Feminine is actually starting to see what she needs to do to make the world a better place, and how to keep her energy clear and undistorted. So that is what I'm getting for Divine Feminine. So the deck I'm going to be using for Divine Masculine is the original Rider-Waite Tarot deck. So let's see what's going on with Divine Masculine. So first card out for Divine Masculine is the Fool. So I feel like Divine Masculine is now seeing through the illusions that threaten to overwhelm him. And these illusions, he's saying that I'm not going to deal with that falseness. It doesn't ring true to me anymore. So I feel like Divine Masculine is just like in hermit mode as well. But he's being a little bit more impulsive and risk-taking than Divine Feminine, because again, he knows that he has much to lose if he keeps letting his fears get the better of him. So I do see that Divine Masculine is ready to go to the next stage of his journey. He no longer wants to be with the karmic, but I feel like, again, his attention isn't on the karmic. It's about how he can reclaim his authenticity and his freedom, because he wants a life with Divine Feminine, but at the moment, he's seen that he has much to do, and he's so confused and lost. I feel like he's praying. He's asking the Divine to, show me the way to my Divine Feminine. and I know I have to do this because he's been putting this off for years. Now Divine Masculine has made some sort of a decision, not entirely fully, but is like, I feel like Divine Masculine just knows he has to get to Divine Feminine by any means, and he'll move heaven and earth to make it so. But he lacks that self-confidence. He's afraid that if he reaches out, Divine Feminine will reject him. So I think that's why he's trying to work on his self-confidence at the moment, because he knows that he cannot let the rejection define him, because he wants to give Divine Feminine the best possible life, but at the same time his dreams, he's seeking to fulfill them, but he knows he needs a plan. He needs something that is tangible, something the Divine Feminine can feel is good enough for her. And I feel like that I do see solar plexus chakra, so Divine Masculine is pulling stuff out of ego. The next card is the Wheel of Fortune. So I do see that Divine Masculine the wheel is turning. A new cycle is beginning, but it's not a cycle with the karmic. It's a cycle where Divine Masculine finally gets to align with who he truly is. He's started to listen to the voice of his own soul, and he knows that voice is his identity, and he wants to get it back. And he wants everything back. He regrets going down this dark road. He knows that he may have lost the Divine Feminine, but I think he's getting the courage to even try regardless. Because some part of him is telling him that Divine Feminine will take him back, but he doesn't believe that. I feel like his ego is trying to cloud his sense of judgment, but Divine Masculine's learning discernment at the moment. He's knowing that the difference between his intuition and his fears. And Divine Masculine doesn't want to feed into his fears anymore. He's played small for far too long. Yes, he's still in a low vibrational energy, but I feel like Divine Masculine at the moment, he doesn't want to be in that energy anymore. He cares more about himself. And even though he doesn't exactly have a concrete plan about how to take care of himself, he's working on it. He knows that you just need effort. You need reciprocity. There you go. And this reciprocity would just help Divine Masculine see that what you really want, what he really wants. He wants a life with you, that much is certain. I see Ace of Pentacles. So I feel like Divine Masculine, if he's a crypto-preneur, I feel like he maybe actually come across hard times. I feel like the Divine Masculine is starting to see that his current job no longer defines him, so he's getting rid of that and just starting all over. Divine Masculine wants something much more honest, and he's starting to see it, but I think that at the moment he's a little bit too comfortable where he's at. He wants more. He knows he wants more. He's looking for more, and he's looking for something that is permanent. And I do see for Divine Masculine, I also see that, his finances are a major concern of his right now. I feel like the longer he stays with the karmic, the more his finances spiral out of control. So I think he's actually also considering that too. Same, what the hell do I have to say to the karmic? I can't tell it right away it's over. I need some sort of plan. I need to make sure that we part peacefully and not on bad terms. And there could be a child involved with this dynamic, doesn't have to be, or some sort of tie that makes him scared to walk away. And he's afraid that if he breaks it off with the karmic will make sure he never sees his child again. Because the karmic's spiteful at the moment. But the Divine Masculine doesn't care. He doesn't care about working on his relationship anymore. He wants what's best for him. Nine of Cups. But I do see that Divine Masculine's idealizing this relationship. He's seeing you through rose-colored eyes, Divine Feminine. And I'm seeing also throat chakra. So I feel like Divine Masculine's aligning to its inner truth once more. He's reclaiming what is him. And what it is him is good, hardworking, honest. And he doesn't want to be in the shadows anymore. He doesn't want to justify his dark actions. He just wants to start over. He doesn't want anybody to judge him. He doesn't want to hurt anyone either. But he's starting to see that he cannot make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. And if he doesn't get out of there, then he will lose himself again. And he doesn't want that to happen. But I feel like he's working on an offer for Divine Feminine. I feel like he's actually trying to figure out what to say to her. I feel like he stalks her like almost daily these days. And it's not, when daily is like probably every couple times a day. He just wants to see how Divine Feminine is. He knows he has to reach out to her, but he just doesn't know what to say at the moment. And he wants it. I feel like, he's overthinking this. He just has to make a leap in contact. and divine feminine would hear him out. He just needs to believe in himself. And I do feel like this divine masculine no longer wants to give divine feminine false hope. He wants to give her something honest, true, which is why it's taking so long to contact her, because he wants her to feel safe around him. He wants her to trust him, and vice versa. So I feel like, again, both twins are finally on the same page, but they have different means of achieving the goals they set out to achieve. And the next card for divine masculine, Ten of Swords. Yeah, he's exhausted. I feel like that he hasn't been sleeping much these past few weeks, could for some of you, months. And I feel like divine masculine is realizing he's in a nightmare, and he doesn't want to be in that nightmare anymore. And he's tired of actually arguing with the karmic. The karmic doesn't want to leave him because she knows that he will go toward divine feminine. And I feel like she's trying to make sure this relationship doesn't fall apart, but unfortunately the divine is making it fall apart anyway. So I feel that maybe the karmic's like more unstable, more chaotic, and the divine masculine starting to say that her sickness or her state of mind does not depend on me. So I feel like he's putting boundaries to the karmic at the moment and saying that you can't do this, you can't do that, and the karmic is just yelling. I feel like that the karmic is pretty much trying to make sure that he doesn't go toward divine feminine, or he doesn't find happiness. She wants him to be happy with her, but he's not happy. So this divine masculine's karmic is going to have to accept that he will never love her, not the way she wants to be loved. And the karmic's biggest lesson is to love herself, and she refuses to do that. She feels like I feel like she's doing everything she can in order to get into this relationship, but divine masculine's going to do it regardless. And I also see that has to look after his cup. He has to make sure that he doesn't give it away so easily. Yes, he's a kind-hearted, magnanimous man, but divine masculine could be easily exploited. But he doesn't want to be exploited anymore. He needs to be more attentive. Next card is the Page of Swords. So I feel like divine masculine's in a little bit of an impulsive energy. I already said that at the beginning, but his impulsive energy is he feels the need to take a risk. He feels the need to go toward divine feminine. But he's wondering if this is like a foolish attempt, or is this really true? Like, is it really going to pay out in his favor? I feel like they may be trying to go to sidekicks and trying to figure out what divine feminine would say. And I do feel like the feedback he received is generally positive. But he's still wondering, how do I know if that's the truth? I haven't talked to this person in a while. How do I know they're so receptive? What if I'm just hearing what I need to hear? So yeah, divine masculine is overthinking all that. And I feel like that maybe he could be getting into arguments with family members. He also could be getting into arguments with his self. I feel like that maybe his higher self and his ego are kind of going at it. And I also see that divine masculine is optimistic. He feels like he'll rise. He feels like he'll come to a better place eventually. But I feel like he still needs to let go of control. I feel like he's trying to control the flow and ebb and flow of this journey. He has to, again, submit. He has to trust the divine. And again, I keep on saying this is his biggest lesson. Because again, what divine masculine wants isn't necessarily good for him. And the next card is the Eight of Cups reversed. So I feel like divine masculine is coming up with this. He's engineering this plan in which he pushes everybody away. And everybody that is not good for him, because again, divine masculine is like saying, I can't avoid conflict. I have to endure it. I have to. And divine masculine, yeah, he's coming much more courageous. He's coming a lot more resilient. He knows this. He can do. He believes in himself. He's starting to believe in himself, and this belief of his, I feel like that this will help him in the long run. And I also see that, yeah, I feel like the divine masculine is, if he drinks, I feel like he's drinking a lot less. If he smokes, I think he's still trying to break away from calming himself through cigarettes. I feel like divine masculine wants a healthier lifestyle, but he knows the first thing that he has to do is to get rid of people who seek to tear him down or try to force them to do their bidding. And I feel like this divine masculine is like saying, you know what, I'm just going to call their bluff. Maybe they're not going to do anything. He said, I just need to take that. I need to believe in myself and take that leap of faith. And the next card is the Ace of Wands. So I feel like Divine Masculine's fantasizing about Divine Feminine right now. And I feel like he actually, yeah, he has a lot of fantasies. He's not even focused on the karmic anymore. He just wants to, he's just thinking about Divine Feminine this, Divine Feminine that. He's very smitten right now, very enamored. And he just loves that feeling. He loves that, the feeling of love. He misses that. And he's like saying, why exactly did I split with Divine Feminine? I had everything, and he wants to get that back. He just doesn't know. He just wonders if it's too late. But I do see this Divine Masculine is going to make a move in the coming months. He's going to put it all on the line. And I feel like that will impress Divine Feminine most of all. So yeah, it's just funny. And I do see Crown Chakra activation, so the Divine Masculine is also aligning to Source. He is getting downloads, messages, and he's questioning them, but he's starting to see that they have validity. They have weight to them. So yeah, the Divine Masculine feels like this information is trustworthy, even if he doesn't know where he's getting it from. And the third to last card is the Ace of Swords. So I do see, yeah, Divine Masculine's seeing, and she's seeing everything clearly. He's seeing that his situation is no longer serves him, and no longer serves him, and now he has to make sure that he's going back to his original self. He realizes that that's the person that he wants to be. He doesn't want to be tough, cold, unfriendly, shallow. He wants to be honest, good-hearted, sweet. He misses that side of himself, and I feel like this is what Divine Masculine's doing. He's getting in touch with that old him, because he knows that that's the person Divine Feminine fell in love with. And the second to last card is King of Cups. So he is watching you, Divine Feminine. He is watching your every move. I feel like that he's on your, I already said it before, but I'll say it again for emphasis. He's very much stalking you almost daily. Some of them they do every day, like 3 or 4 times, perhaps even more. They're curious about what you're up to, Divine Feminine. They no longer feel your energy in this situation, and that's actually awoken all that curiosity. He doesn't feel clingy, but he feels like he's thinking about you more and more intensely. It's bothering him, and he's like saying, how can I feel so strongly for someone that I never really had a actual relationship with? But he's starting to see that it doesn't matter. I love her. I love Divine Feminine. That's all I need to know, right? But he just doesn't see where it fits right now. And I see that Divine Masculine wants to, yeah, he wants to fit Divine Feminine in his life. But again, he doesn't want to give her false promises. He wants to make sure that she fits in a lifestyle where he's always going to be there for her. He wants to be there for her 100%. He doesn't want to do 90. So yeah. And the last card is Death. So yeah, Divine Masculine is going through this huge realization that this is not what he wants. He doesn't want this lifestyle anymore. He doesn't like how unfulfilling it is. He used to think that money meant everything, but he's starting to see it's love that means everything, not money. And love is what makes this world go around, not money. So again, Divine Masculine's still making money, but he just doesn't have that mentality where he needs to grind or hustle. He just needs to be himself. That's more than he can ask for. And he's like saying, is that it? I feel like he's kind of a little bit skeptical. He thinks that Divine Feminine is too good to be true. And I do see that Divine Masculine is like, no, I love her. I know if I tell her the truth, she'll believe me. And I do feel like, again, I also see that Divine Masculine is going through a rebirth. I feel like there could be a Kundalini awakening at the moment, and Divine Masculine is just seeing truths from a higher perspective, truths that he neglected or didn't want to address. So yeah, that is it. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. I'll see you another time. Namaste.